Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, I had an idea to do something on a stream, but I felt like this concept would work better as a video. And I wanted to make it. It's not a conventional concept, but I thought it'd just be funny to make and just put out in the world. The whole concept of the video is I am going to cut and consume this entire pineapple while reading a brand new cringy fan fiction I found off Wattpad. Like, I didn't know what I was looking for. I just knew cringe, new amateur author. Now, this is not me making fun of this author or anything like that. It's just I read fan fiction when I was younger back in the day, and not a lot of people are good at writing. Let's just be real about here. And I've picked one called Toxic Nadine. Toxic Nadine. Nadine, and this is the synopsis, by the way. Nadine has lived a fairly normal life. She is in a long-term sexless relationship that she was itching to get out of. But the problem was, she loved him still. But Ben, which I'm presuming is her man she's in a relationship with, wasn't giving her the affection she so desperately craved. Solution: talk it out with him, break up. Answer: be a hoe. Nadine is a fairly nice, respectable girl, but she was toxic. Every relationship, lovers or not, she managed to mess up and screw the person over. Finally, after months of affairs and distant nights, she finally had enough. So the question is, where do you go when you break up with your long-term boyfriend, whom you shared an apartment with? You go live with your insanely hot coworker and his brother. But can Nadine remain away from Ben? After all, this is Toxic Nadine we're talking about. Dios mío. This is the prologue. This is going to be a doozy. Tonight is the most free I have felt in a long time. The most fun and the most pleasurable. Here I was having a one-night stand with some guy I had just met at a bar. The guy, whose name I don't remember, tangled his fingers between my hair as he hit it from the back, doggy style. A 12-year-old wrote this. He is, or someone with the writing level of one. He is definitely the best and most exciting man I've ever been with. He was huge and knew exactly how to use it, and not to mention the amazing orgasm he gave me with his tongue just a few minutes ago. Alright, so maybe the person who wrote this wasn't a virgin. I don't know. She's not I don't know, maybe. I was excited to see what else he could do to what else he could bring to reach my climax again. With every thrust, I was getting closer and closer and closer to a second mind-blowing orgasm. So was he. Then my phone pinged. Are you coming home soon or what? Fuck, I breathed out for more reasons than one. Chapter 1. Stay for a movie. I turned over to get a better look at this guy. I raised an eyebrow. No, this was just sex. I shoved my way off the bed and began gathering my clothing. He looked at me, flabbergasted. I rolled my eyes. Leaving the room, pulling my dress back over my head, I could hear his massive footsteps behind me, so I knew he was following. Goddamn, it's always the good ones that end up cuckoo. Really? I thought we had a connection, he called after me. I laughed, turning to face him, nearly bumping into his chest. Look, I don't even remember your name. There's no connection. Just two horny people doing each other a favor. He looked a little hurt, stepped back, and said, okay. I turned around and left. Later that day, I found myself lounging around on my best friend, Sophia's couch, telling her all the juicy details, making sure to leave nothing out, and I mean nothing. Girl, no way his dick is bigger than Noah Layhill. She slapped me playfully. Noah's a guy we both had sex in high school with. Okay, that explains it. I swear, you lucky bitch. She throws her head back in exasperation. Connor's dick is so small, I miss a good fuck. But I think I'm starting to love him. She says, referring to her newest love interest, they've been dating for a little over 6 months, and all she does complain is how small his penis is. She didn't use the word penis. She says, referring to her newest love interest, I laugh, giving her a small nudge. Be nice. He can't help that he has a small dick. She just groans. Maybe I'll just be like you and cheat on him. I narrow my eyes to her. Not funny. I don't know what to do. I still love Ben. I don't know. He hasn't been the same lately. I feel distance. That should be distant. And we hardly have sex anymore. At least Connor fucks you. Rolling her eyes, she says, no shit, you feel distance. You're fucking other guys. I love Sophia. She was my best friend since the 8th grade. She's never failed to be brutally honest with me. I knew she meant it with love and wanted me to do better. But it doesn't stop the ping of sadness that I felt deep in my chest at her words. I knew I was a piece of shit for cheating on Ben, but it really took a lot to come to this point. For months I begged him for more attention and more affection, and he never gave it. I know anyone would argue that I don't love him, but I do. I can't bear the thought of being without him. It makes my heart hurt. Sometimes I thought about ending things, but I couldn't, simply on the fact that I did love him. And what if we could work past these issues? Your issues, you mean? And then things would go back to normal. I wish you'd... What if I knew if Ben ever found out that I'd slept with another man, multiple men, he would be heartbroken, and it would be over. For that reason, I never planned on telling him. I wish you'd understand, I said, sounding pathetic. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the core on this pineapple. I'm just trying to make sure I don't cut into the core of this pineapple. I wish you'd understand who the fuck says that when their friend doesn't agree on their affair. Girl, don't you get all sad at me since you're a hoe and you know it. She teases me, but I know she meant it. I still love you even though you're a hoe. You're still my hoe. Thanks, Sophia. You always know how to cheer me up, I said sarcastically, turning my attention to the television that has been playing some sappy romance movie, like the sappy Wattpad story I'm reading. I definitely had no clue what was going on. But the movie made me sad, yet happy at the same time. I craved the type of relationship that these characters had. I knew that would never be a reality with Ben. Yet I had no intentions of leaving him and hoped that it could be true one day. I better go. I told Ben I was coming home tonight. I told her, glancing at the clock. Fuck. By now it's 3 a.m. and Ben was definitely asleep by now. Okay, girlie, text me when you've made it home safe. Love you. And she yawns as she pulls me over into a tight hug. I drove 10 over the speed limit the whole way back. Ugh, I dropped shit. Ugh. I drove 10. I was beyond tired and just wanted to get home and sleep off tonight's guilt trip, which, kind of justifiable, if you ask me. And hope it doesn't resurface tomorrow and Ben doesn't ask too many questions. When I got back, I texted Sophia telling her I made it home safe and hopped into a quick shower. I made sure to scrub off every inch of my body where that guy had touched me earlier. And it was foggy when I got out. Always loved a steaming hot shower. I couldn't take it any other way. I wiped away the fog on the mirror to see what I could deal with. I felt a little repulsed by the person staring back in the mirror. I didn't feel like I was staring back at myself, but a stranger instead. Shaking my head, I decided to skip my nightly routine and just head to bed. I slipped into one of Ben's tees and slid into bed next to him. He shifted a bit in his sleep and didn't wake up. The breath I didn't know I was holding and fell asleep. Next morning, I was woken up by a pair of soft, warm lips kissing my temple. I stirred, squinting my eyes open, finding myself staring into Ben's green eyes. He smiled softly at me, pushing a piece of hair behind my ears. "Good morning, honey," he said. That smile faltered a little. I could tell he wanted to ask me about last night and how late I got home, but he didn't. Propping myself out on my elbows, I said, "Morning, what time is it?" Ben reached over to grab my phone, peeked at the time. It's 1 p.m. You have a lot of missed calls from your manager. Surprised neither of us heard it. Fuck. I had a shift at 12. My manager is going to be so pissed at me. And this was the third time this month I had been late. Flinging the blanket off of me and run to the bathroom. I got ready in less than 5 minutes. I shouldn't have stayed out as I did last night, and I knew that, but I did anyways. I went back to the bedroom, grabbed my phone, give Ben a quick kiss before I left to work, praying to God my manager wasn't there. I worked full-time in a small family-owned diner a few blocks from my apartment. I'd only worked there less than 6 months. I loved it. I never did have good attendance in high school. I managed to get there in only a few minutes. I got out of my car, ran into the building so fast, I'm not even sure if the car came to a full stop before it flew my door. But my coworker, Nessie, was waving down tables when I entered the diner and quickly clocked into the register. She gave me a nervous look and shook her head. "The boss lady is fuming," she informed me when I walked by. She gave me a nervous smile as I walked into the kitchen, putting my apron on and getting to work. Hoping I didn't run to my manager soon. About an hour, she finally came out of her office. She gave me a disappointed look and shook her head. "Nadine, my office, now," she said sternly, never breaking eye contact as I nervously walked past her into her office. Followed suit and shut the door behind me. She gestured for me to take a seat, and I did. She sat in front of me with her fingers laced on her desk. She sighed deeply, her brown eyes piercing through my blue ones. "Now, Nadine, I assume why you're here today." Her words flowed out in such a calm manner that left me unsettled. I smiled, despite the fact I wanted to cry, wiping my partly sweat, partly dishwater palms on my knees. "Yes, I'm sorry, man. Won't happen again, blah, 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 blah." She was like, "Miss Nadine, I've already given you too many. You've worked here 5.5 months, and you've been tardy more times than I can count. Brianna's worked here 7 years, and you've been late more than she has." While thinking, I snorted, not missing her little eyebrow raise and displeased look. Brianna was a kiss-ass. She just desperately wanted a supervisor position. I was honestly surprised she hadn't got one yet. "It won't. No, Nadine, turn in your aprons and leave. You're no longer employed here." I glared at her, pushed off my chair, made a loud scraping noise when I got off, yanked off my apron, threw it at her, and it hit her right in the stomach, and fell to the floor with a soft thud. She looked at me, baffled. She couldn't believe I just did that. Hell, I couldn't believe I just did that. "Out now," she fumed. I flipped her the bird and stormed out of the office. "Fuck this place and fuck you, Brianna," I grumbled under my breath as I passed her. I threw the door open with a chime and gave the building one last middle finger with a sign. I sat down on the curb, pulled out my cigarettes, and lit one. I instantly felt more relaxed and took another deep breath. Ben would be furious with me right now. Not only did I lose my job, but I'm smoking, which I told him I was quitting. And that is the end of that. I have to say, like, I know I wanted this piece of content to exist, but I almost kind of don't want to post this. Like, this was kind of like a crime against humanity a little bit. I don't know. Either way, thank you guys for watching, and roll credits.
Poggers.